Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Girard-Perregaux Competizione Stradale, 42mm in stainless steel. You can see this 2016 Bezel World debut and purchase it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included, high-resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details for this automatic chronograph from Girard-Perregaux. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, this watch is aesthetically a bit of a greatest hits parade for Girard-Perregaux, referencing some of the vintage Club Italia pieces from the 70s, the Olympicos starting from the late 60s through the mid-90s, a little bit of the Girard-Perregaux Ferrari chronographs from the 90s too, and maybe just a shade of the R&D01 and Laureato Evo 3 sporting chronographs of the 2000s. Now 42mm across the round of the case from 3 to 9, the watch is actually quite thin. 14mm may not be super thin at face value, but when you combine it with that domed bezel, a dress cuff ramps up and over the flank of this watch easily. It's a good and easy fit with formal attire, but it does have a broad span across the wrist. From solid end link to solid end link, you're going to find this one spans 55mm, which is quite surprising for a watch that is 42mm in diameter. Girard-Perregaux really does stretch this one out laterally, but you can see that there is a wonderful curvature to the lugs themselves, as well as the solid end link of the bracelet that allows the watch to drape its span around the wrist rather than stridently flaring out off the sides. So it does wear well, and I would say even though it's big, down to maybe 14.5, 15 centimeters in circumference, you're going to wear this one with a good sense of proportion and stability. Now, the bracelet and the clasp are a big reason for that stability. You can see alternately polished and brushed. That's the satin finish down the center. There's a nice contrast. It's handsome and well made, and it has substantial mass. You can see the links are individually fixed by screws, not pins and sleeves. And with the substance of the bracelet and the double deployant trigger actuated clasp, it has enough of a counterweight that the large and heavy watch head doesn't have a tendency to want to porpoise or capsize on the wrist. Even if you add a couple of links back and you like to wear your watch loose, this one should stay put simply on the basis of a nicely counterweighted watch head by bracelet and clasp. The case is beautifully made, sensuous, contrasting in finish, a lovely longitudinal satin finish contrasting with polished hoods and that beautiful polished domed bezel. Now you can see underneath the sapphire, which is slightly domed in a vintage style. The watch has a gorgeous satin finished black dial. Now it's not quite black, it's almost a very dark gray. Sometimes the term used is anthracite. There's a slightly raised tachymetric scale with small luminescent pips outboard of the hour track, and all hour indices are applied. The subregisters themselves are slightly countersunken. You can see from this angle to good advantage that it also has a little bit of concentric guilloche in each of the registers to add texture and a different lighting effect as it reacts upon the registers in contrast to the dial center. Now the watch does feature a Girard-Perregaux caliber 3370 with 63 jewels, automatic winding. You can see it on the case back. It is a modular chronograph with a single mainspring barrel endowing the watch with 46 hours of power reserve. Again, the modular architecture is the reason for the 63 jewels. Jewels in the module, jewels in the movement. It is a manufacturer-based caliber tied to a Dubois de Praz module, but the nice thing about the module is that it uses a vertical clutch system, so it starts and stops smoothly and you can keep the chronograph in continuous operation without any additional hazard to wear and tear. Now it does feature hacking seconds, and it features a quick set date, so you can rapidly cycle the discrete monotone black date disc at 4:30. Now the watch is sporting, but not in a diving sense. With 3 ATM water resistance, you're going to want to keep this very handsome motorsports-oriented timepiece high and dry, preferably at trackside. You can see and you can purchase this 2016 novelty on our website.